walked the dark years to guide you and me. God walked the dark years to guide my footsteps. He walked everywhere, by night and by day. He walks in silence on down the highway. God walks the dark years because He loves you and me. Now God walks in the storm, the rain, the sunshine. He walks on the shadows of the glimmering line. Helps us walk up the mountains so high, cross the rivers to the valleys. God walks the dark hills because He loves you and me. God walks the dark hills to guide my footsteps. He walks everywhere, by night and by day. He walks on silence on down the highway. God walks the dark hills to guide you and me. God walks the dark hills to guide you and me.
Down from above, sent for the birds and the flowers we love. Truly 'tis so in heaven's away. Each soul is a flower in the Master's bouquet. Gathering flowers for the Master's bouquet. Beautiful flowers that will never decay, gathered by angels and carried away, forever to bloom in the Master's bouquet. Loved ones are passing each day and each hour, passing away like the life of a flower. But every bud and each blossom someday will bloom as a flower in the Master's bouquet. Gathering flowers for the Master's bouquet. Beautiful flowers that will never decay, gathered by angels and carried away, forever to bloom in the Master's bouquet. Let us be faithful till life's work is done, blooming with love till the reaper shall come. Then we'll be gathered together for transplanted to bloom in the Master's bouquet. Gathering flowers for the Master's bouquet. Beautiful flowers that will never decay, gathered by angels and carried away, forever to bloom in the Master's bouquet. Forever to bloom in the Master's bouquet.
coming to be with us this morning, because the Lord will draw you near to Him. And would you turn with me to the book of Luke, chapter 2. The book of Luke, chapter 2. The book of Luke, chapter 2. Luke chapter 2. The book of Luke chapter 2. And we'll start reading with verse 1. The book of Luke chapter 2. And start reading verse 1. Would you stand with me, please? And it came to pass in those days that there went out a decree from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be taxed. And this taxing was most made when Cyrenius was governor of Syria. And all went to be taxed, every one into his own city. And Joseph also went up from Galilee out of the city of Nazareth unto Judea, unto the city of David, which is called Bethlehem, because he was of the house and lineage of David, to be taxed with Mary, his espoused wife, being great with child. And so it was that while they were there, the days were accomplished that she should be delivered. And she brought forth her firstborn son, and wrapped him in swaddling clothes, and laid him in a manger, because there was no room for them in the inn. You may be seated. In 1865, a fellow by the name of Philip Brooks left out, and he went to, who was pastor of the Holy Trinity Church in Philadelphia, traveled to Bethlehem. He went there for the purpose that he could be able to preach and have a Christmas Eve service in what you call the Church of the Nativity, that is considered to be built right over the very place where that Jesus was born. Well, why don't we think about the stable that tells us that really the stable that Jesus was born in was also a cave. And because of that, then, whatever the fellow with the name, Augustine came on and became a Christian years later. His mother had a church built right over top of that particular cave. You say, well, how could that be? Well, in that land, they tell us even to this day that there are caves that the people use, that they might take their animals in during bad weather. And so they say that they also have mangers that are carved out of the stone in order that they might feed the sheep and so forth. Well, Philip Brooks made the trip in order that he might go and preach that night. Well, he ended up with a song, "Oh, little town of Bethlehem, how see still we see thee lie." What I was thinking to look, I want to bring you a little bit about the city of Bethlehem today and think about it, what it really represents. First of all, we think about the city of Bethlehem. It lies about 20-some miles below the city of Jerusalem. And so about, we might say, for an average person would be about 2 days journey by foot. One they would be traveling that way. But also it was a city that was very small. It might have had 1,000 people in the city at that time. We do not know. And if it was, the last time I heard of anything, that they estimated that there maybe was about 10,000 people that were out there now. But it was not a very important city. It was not a very important city, but we noticed there was also something that was there. And you would notice that they said there was no room for them in the inn. Well, they tell us that whatever that the city of Jerusalem, city of Bethlehem, was also located in another place there. That whatever the camel caravans would be coming from up the north part of the country, and they would be coming down and they would be heading towards Egypt. And they could go out of Jerusalem, and then they would make their through the city of Bethlehem, and there they would make their trip on down into the land of Egypt with all of the goods that they were hauling. Well, they said there was a little inn there that some of those people that would come in, that they would stay in while they would be traveling to the city, and it was time for them to stop, and they would stay in those inns. Well, whatever that Jesus came would find that that inn was very completely full. But not only that, whatever that the people would come to the city of Bethlehem, because not only was Jesus and Mary required to come, Mary and Joseph required to come to the city of Bethlehem, we would find all of the people who had a lineage that was connected to David had to make their trip also to the city of Bethlehem during this time. And so that meant that every home that could be able to hold people, it would be filled. Well, we find something else about those cities back then. Whatever stranger was traveling, and he could not find a place that he might be able to stay for the night, he would go out in the city square, and he would lay down there. Well, after a while, somebody that maybe had some room in his house, I would come by, and they would wake him up, and they would take him in their house. But one of the Jesus arrived on the scene that night. Mary and Joseph came into the city before Jesus was born. There was nobody that had any room. Not even the inn was full, and probably none of the kinfolks had any place. So the only place that they could find was a stable, a place where the sheep would normally dwell, had they not been out in the fields at this particular time. And so in that stable we find that Jesus Christ was born. Well, look about to find of Bethlehem, and how important is it? Just a little bitty city, but why didn't the Lord choose a big city like Jerusalem? Why didn't he choose a big city like Jerusalem? Well, I was thinking about it as I was reading a little bit about the Bushes this morning, about the Bush family. I do know that Wrigley, his mother and dad lived in Kingsport for a little while. And he said, well, whatever, he visited Kingsport one time. He said, well, mother and dad had to stay around here. Maybe he would have been and lived in Knoxville. But they went further on up in New England in order that they might start and get into more to business there. Well, what if they moved back to Texas? They moved back to a big city there. But you know, sometimes the Lord uses little things. Sometimes the Lord uses little things. And so we might be able to say, I guess the city of Bethlehem was a little place. But yet we find the Lord used it for His honor and glory. You know, sometimes we might think that we're little and we cannot be used for the glory of God. But we can be, why is it we surrender ourselves totally to Him. But we find that the city of Bethlehem was first mentioned in the Word of God over in a book that we call Ruth. Why don't we look at that and find here with a fellow by the name of Elimelech and Naomi left out. Because they decided they would go over into the country of Moab. Why did they move to the country of Moab? Again, they had two sons, and those two sons married two of the girls that was in Moab. But the thing about it is this, they had another religion. They had another God besides the true and the living God. Well, there came the time, whatever that Elimelech died, and also the two sons died. And then Naomi made the decision then that she was going to come back to the city of Bethlehem. She was going to come back to those 10 people that lived there. But then she started on her journey, and one of the daughter-in-laws made the decision. I am going to go back. I am going to stay right here. But then the other one, by the name of Ruth, said, I am going to go with you. I am going to go with you. Even though that Naomi tried to discourage her every way that she could, no, she said, I am going to go with you. And my people are going to be your people are going to be my people. And your God is going to be my God. May I say to you, what is it we looked to the city of Bethlehem that day? It was a place of change for Ruth. It was a place of change for her as she was leaving behind that old religion. As she was leaving behind the old sin. As she was coming now to the Lord of glory. Coming now to the Lord that loved her. The Lord had loved her so much that one day He was going to give His Son on Calvary's cross in order that she could be saved and set free from her sin. What do we find? We find it is also mentioned again. Whatever we look, it is a place also concerning Jacob. We find that Jacob was one, and then he came to the city of Bethlehem one day, and there his favorite wife died. Remember Rachel? He was the one that he catered to. He had a sister that he was married to, but he hated her. But we find that Rachel was his favorite. But there she died in the city of Bethlehem. And so the city of Bethlehem became known as something else. It became known as the city of David. Because why don't we look down to